Hello friends, welcome to Java2D tutorial. In this video, we are going to see how to use GeneralPath to perform PolyLine. So PolyLine is nothing but connected lines, and here we will use the APIs GeneralPath, moveTo and lineTo to perform the PolyLine drawing. So as already told, GeneralPath class will record the path information using line and curve segment. So we call, if there are multiple lines, we call each line as a segment. Similarly, if there are one or more curve in the path, we will call that as a segment. So these shape segments like line and curve together forms a general path, and this general path, by making use of line and curve, gives us a somewhat a complex shape. So drawing a rectangle, circle, all those stuffs are standard shape. Here, using GeneralPath, we can define user-defined shape. So once path information is ready, we can give this path information to Graphics2D to draw complex geometry. So simply the draw method, we know that the draw method takes a shape instance. So the same way you can give the GeneralPath, and the Graphics2D's draw method will then take care of drawing the complex shape. The methods moveTo, lineTo, curveTo will add shape segments to the path. To the path in the sense to the GeneralPath. So we will create GeneralPath instance, then you will add the segments, line or curve segments, using these three API functions. Same, for example, when you ask to do the moveTo, that will define the starting point. After that, you can make use of lineTo, curveTo. So there are three segments. So this is moveTo, then using lineTo. So from here we are making a line. So one more lineTo, then some curveTo. So if you see, this defines the path. The path goes like this. We can close the path by calling the close path. So we know that this is the moveTo point, and let's assume this is the end point, and at this location, if you make a call to close path, it will join the first point with the last point. So it will get closed, thereby you will get a closed region. Alright, in this example, we will draw polyline using multiple clicks. That means here we will be using moveTo and lineTo. curveTo, I am leaving it for your exploration. So this two is enough to define polyline drawing. So we will create a JFrame, and we will name it as a G04 PolyLine example. That means we will open our existing Java2D project. So far we created 3 examples, and this one is a 4th one. So we will name it as G04 PolyLine example, which extends from JFrame. That means we will use window builder to create this instance. After creating the JFrame, we will be creating the drawing panel also. This will extend from JPanel, and after creating the JPanel as well as a JFrame in window builder, we will come back to this JFrame and add a private member for the JFrame. Then here if you see, we make use of the content pan, and we will change the instance to our drawing panel. Then in the drawing panel, we will define array list of points. So it's a collection of point 2D instance, and we call this as a points, because to draw or to define the general path, we need more than 2 points. So a path is one or more segment. So to define one segment, we need at least 2 points. So that's why here we are creating a collection of points. Then in the mouse clicked event handler, on each mouse click, if you see, we are populating this points array. So the point array will have X and Y location. So on each click we will be registering 1 point. Then we will be making call to repaint. That means we will end up into the paint method of the JPanel. So here if you see, user may be producing the multiple clicks, and on each click, this will be our points collection. We will be collecting X and Y location. So there will be multiple X and Y location like this. And to define a segment, we need at least 2 points. So for example, this is one line segment and this one is one line segment. There are totally 2 line segments here in this case. Let's say our array contains only 2 segments, and this is one segment, for example. This one is a second segment, and when we make a call to close path on the general path, we can get a shape like this. So likewise, based on the mouse click location, we may be getting a different shape, right? So if there are 4 points and the location of the points are like this, then we will be getting our shape like this. So this is what called creating a complex shape using multiple segments. Sometimes you can mix this with the curve to segment as well. So if the second segment is curve to, then the shape will be like this. So this one will be curve to. All right. So in the paint, we know that in the click event we are making call to repaint. Repaint will erase the background, then it will make a call to paint method. So in the paint method, first we check how many points are there in our points collection. So we have that in number of points variable, and if it is less than 2, it doesn't do anything with the paint method. Why? Because there should be at least 1 segment, that means 2 points, to perform any drawing. So that means when user is clicking the mouse for the first time, we won't do anything in the paint method. Remember, in our click we always call repaint. So based on this collection, we skip our first click on the paint. Alright, then here we convert this graphics object into graphics 2D. Then points is array list, right? We get a iterator. So iterator will iterate through collection. So we have a Java collection subseries. In that we talked about this iterator. Here I am using a simple iterator. points.iterator, which will give us the iterator. Then we can iterate through the point to perform or to define the path. Alright, for now you can know that we have the iterator over the points collection which we collected on each mouse click. So here we are constructing the general path, and this is the algorithm we are using, general path constant. After that, here we are defining the size. We are telling how many segments are there. So this we are telling it based on the points size structure. That means this general path contains 6 points, 7 points, 12, 20 points. So likewise here we are defining the general path. After that, using the iterator.next, which will give us the first point, and we call that as a start point. Then this is the general path instance, right? PLine, we call it as PolyLine PLine. PLine dot moveTo. From start point we are giving x and y location. That means here we are defining the start location of our general path. Next, we iterate through our each and every point. The iterator.next call. So this call will give the point. So here is the points collection, right? On each iteration we will get one new point, and then we are making call to lineTo. So this is next point instance, right? Next point.x, next point.y. And if you see the PLine moveTo, then this is the start point which will be called outside the loop. Then inside the loop, for n number of points, we make a call to lineTo. So that means here we just defining the shape. We are not drawing anything, we are defining the shape. For example, let's say mouse click happened so there are 6 points, right? There are 6 points, right? So that means our array is having 6 slots. Array means the points collection. We know that points is a array list, and it is collection of a 2D point. There are 6 points. That means user clicked the mouse 6 times. 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So moveTo. Here we are making call to moveTo, right? This defines the start point. After that, we called lineTo multiple times. So this is a square box. Let's say it's a call to lineTo. So there is one start point. Then there are multiple connected segments. So this actually defines the segment. And if you see, at present I am defining the path like this. So this is how we defined the path. Once a path is defined and this path definition is available in PLine general path, finally we make a call to G2. G2 is nothing but our Graphics2D instance. In our previous video we used this Graphics2 instance, and we made call to draw, and we supplied the shape object. It can be a line, or it can be a rectangle or ellipse. So those are all the 3 examples we saw, right? Now this time we are passing general path, and general path defines what needs to be drawn. So once this path information is given to the draw method, the draw method will perform the drawing following the path. And if you see in this example, we doesn't make a call to close path when we are defining the path, so that here the shape will be drawn like this and it is open-ended. and if we have called close path, then the path will be closed. That means start and end point will connected by a line, thereby closing the polyline segments. Or this way you can define complex shapes instead of standard shape like rectangle, circle. You can define objects like a triangle, pentagon, hexagon, or even irregular shape like this. Alright, that's all here. Now it's a demo time. We will go to the Eclipse demo. So here is our Java2D project, which we opened previously in the previous sub-series. So far we have 3 panel and frame. Likewise, we will create a new example. Other. In one of our previous video, we told how to install window builder plugin for Eclipse. So now we can click on JFrame. We will name it as PolyLine example. Next, we will create a JPanel. So window builder, swing designer, JPanel. Here we are giving the name as G04 drawing panel. So we have drawing panel, and we will replace our content pane of the JFrame. JFrame here we already created, right? And private JPanel content pane, we will replace this as private G04 drawing panel content pane. We just replaced the content pane instance with our own instance. So once I replace this, I'm getting an error. Here if you see content pane equal to new JPanel, now we have to give our instance name. So this will be our first code change. So the first code change will be here. Content pane here. By default, Windows Builder created a private panel, content pane, and we replaced it as a G04 drawing panel. Then this is our second code change. So here we are making adjustment on the window builder created code. Next, we will move to drawing panel, and in the constructor, or even before the constructor, we will create a array list. Array list is from Java.util package. Point2D is from AWT geometry. So here we simply defined list of points. Point2D dot float. So that's the point instance. You can define it from, you can read it from the tooltip text. The float class defines a point specified in float precision. So it's coming from geometry package of AWT. Next, we need to handle mouse clicked event for our drawing panel. So let's go here. So just click the design. So this is the window builder's design palette. So I'm clicking on the panel, then show events, mouse click the event, double clicking here this empty area, which will generate the skeleton code for mouse clicked. And here if you see points, we already defined points.add. From this mouse event we are creating a new point float2D, and x and y location we are getting it from this mouse event location. That means wherever user is clicking, from that location we are generating the point and we are adding it to our array list collection. So if you click 10 times, you will be having 10 points here. So on each click we make a call to repaint. That means it will erase the background and make a call to the paint method override. That means we have to override the paint method for our drawing panel. So this is our constructor, right? So after the constructor we will override the paint method, awt.graphics. So as I already explained in the PowerPoint slide, if you see, first we get the size of the point and we return from this paint method itself when we don't have enough number of segment. Once again we will import graphics2D iterator. This is from not HTML document, from util. So points, it was already collected on each mouse click. We even have the iterator. Now, so this GeneralPath is graphics2D package, Java2D geometry. So GeneralPath, PolyLine, GeneralPath is constructed. After that, using moveTo and lineTo, we add the segment to the GeneralPath. Then finally we give the GeneralPath instance to the graphics2D's draw method. Right. So the code was already explained in the PowerPoint slide. Now we will go ahead and run this to see what happens. This is JPanel, and this one is the JFrame, which contains main method. Now we will right click this, run as Java application. So we don't have a title. If you need a title, you go to the design pane of the JFrame. So here in the title we will place a title of Java2D PolyLine drawing example. So now I will click at multiple location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since I don't have close path, I have to manually close it. And if you make a call to close path, then this will close the shape automatically. And if you want to define close path, you can do the right click option, and there you can make a call to close path and define a closed region. Alright, just now you saw the demo how PolyLine is working. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.